Next option is ask the organization to disband immediately. The pros of this: the problem goes away. The school can make sound decisions for the students, but it is always good to have parental involvement. The organization and administration's relationship would be tarnished forever. The parents could refuse, and there's no support for students in the future. This could cause further confusion and apprehension. We could have big community backlash, and the problem goes away, but it's not solved. Next, we have the principal resigns from his position. I would remove myself from a tough situation. That said, there are a lot of cons to this decision. The principal is no longer employed. Doesn't solve the real issue. District doesn't recognize the decisions made by the parent organization. There's no school involvement in decisions. With no cooperation, parents in the community could feel more disconnected, and poor decisions could be made from the parent organization. Next, we have the selection of the best option. Option number 2 is going to be the way we go. And this is integrating myself and other staff members into this organization and communities. It was formerly a parent-teacher organization, so I think that should be the way we should go from here on out. It's the most appropriate and would appease all stakeholders. And the stakeholders that need to be consulted are the parents, staff, and superintendent. And this will be accomplished by implementing the decision. So first things first, we need to speak with the following people to discuss the integration of staff within this organization. First, we need to talk to the superintendent, just give them a heads up of what we're going to do. We want the parents more involved in the process of just big decision making within the school. And I think this is a good way to go for a lot of schools. They can see what the community is facing. The parents are their community members at heart too. So they can help us, direct our focus to some of those community problems and really get the school involved in the community. I need to contact the parent or the president of the parents organization, the organization as a whole and their members, and specific staff members that I think would do a good job. We want our, A team on this, and I'm not saying that all of our teachers aren't the A team, but we want somebody who really would enjoy this and really take it to heart. So second, I would integrate myself, because I would like to be on those committees too. I think it's a big deal, and other staff members into the organization. Number 3, help the organization understand how the schools operate. Now, here's the thing. Ultimately, it's my decision of curriculum and teacher evaluations, overall school evaluations, and discipline. It really comes down to me. So I need to do this tactfully, and it needs to be polite. I need to be empathetic from where they're coming from, and I need to be informative. We need to talk about budgeting approved by the school board. I think, like I said, they're go-getters. I think they're kind of just trying to go do these initiatives without really thinking about how all this works. So we need inform them that collaboration with parents, families, and the community is super important for this process. We all need to recognize the current needs and the resources from the school and community. And we need to develop policies, procedures, and guidelines for future meetings. Because I think, like I said, I think they just kind of had this idea to be involved and do this thing without really thinking it through. And I want to help give them that guidance. I'm not saying I'm going to take over as president of the organization or anything, but I want to be there as a resource for them as well. So number 4, collaborate back to school night and parent-teacher conferences. First things first, back to school night cannot happen during American Education Week. It just can't. We can't have a back to school night in November. It's, not feasible. It's not good for the parents. Anyway, we break it down into 2 nights. This will save teachers a lot of time and trouble. We have English and math on one night. That'll be the main night. I think that's super important And we're going to invite all the teachers to come during this night. And we're going to have one teacher from each department deliver a presentation pertaining to English and pertaining to math. And they're going to go over all this, it's going to be a collaborative effort, but one teacher is going to give the presentation. And I think that would alleviate a lot of stress on my staff while also appeasing the parents. The second night, we have science, social studies, and electives. Electives may need more than one teacher for that, but they can collaborate and figure out what they would need to properly inform parents of their programs. And other teachers on the second night, the non-main night, can help direct parents for schedules. And here's the thing about this. The main night, I would like all teachers there. It's usually a back to school night is built into teacher contracts, and I would like them there so parents can meet homeroom teachers, things like that. And so hopefully that would appease all stakeholders. And also I would try to give extra duty pay for the teachers who are doing the presentations, just because I think that's a little incentive and they're going above and beyond their contract hours at some point in this process. And also with the collaboration of parent-teacher conferences, we can have those during American Education Week, and we'll do it the normal amount of nights, because as far as normal school years goes, they have a certain amount of nights that they need to be available within the school year. We can't add on more nights when they've already signed a contract. It just won't work. We can open that discussion later, though, when we keep collaborating with keep collaboration going with the committees. We need to utilize the committees as a resource to improve student learning. They're on the right track, and I think it takes a village to raise a child, and I think the school can overall be improved by all hands on deck with parents and community members. And as we go, we need to evaluate, reflect, and adapt our policies, procedures, and guidelines. And plan B, parents don't want to integrate. I really want to help them understand the district might not take this parent organization seriously. There's no tie to the parent-teacher, Parents as Teachers Association. I really don't know if they know what they got themselves into, but I just would really hit that point home. The decision should be made from a school's perspective, and parents can help that as well. We need to take in everybody's perspective, but at the end of the day, the district will recognize what I decide and what the school decides. So, case study questions that were not previously answered through the presentation. And what types of situations can family and community stakeholders be helpful? I think that they should be involved in more situations than not. Community involvement can lead to some really big positive changes, like school climate, parent engagement, and student achievement. That's what we're ultimately trying to do. So why not involve them? Get them involved. If they want to be involved, we have to work with them. I think the more the community is helping, the more positive the outcomes are. What guidance do various laws, policies, and regulations provide for determining when family or guardians have input? Really, it comes down to, if there is family engagement law, it's usually for individual students, and the families handle that need according to those laws. Other than that, there's really not any laws that say that they need to be involved in terms of curriculum and discipline and teacher evaluations. That's just not how it works. But, I would love to hear from them. Number 3, what strategies are effective for communicating school and student success? Overall, it needs to be proactive communication. You can do this in a variety of ways. I included some: updated blogs, emails, newsletters, advertising. They could be specific letters sent home to individual families. Really, we can, promote student success by being proactive with our communication, having two-way communication. What strategies can we use for when English is not the primary language? I would say, first and foremost, build relationships with those diverse family and community members and provide information, if you can, in their native language. We want to give them every opportunity to succeed that we would English speakers. As far as legal constraints within our state, there are currently no laws in Kansas pertaining to constraints on the role for a parent organization. And to what extent would certain school board policies restrict increased involvement? Currently, our policies are kind of vague on that topic. That said, there are certain things that are designated to be handled by the principals and the superintendent, which I don't think parents should really be involved in. So it's kind of up in the air, and I don't think it really restricted at all. Next, how did this promote the academic success and well-being of each student and adult? I think integrating myself and staff members into the parent organization is really in the best interest for all stakeholders, and that's me included. I think it seems like the principal should have been better equipped and more proactive with the communication and feedback. Collaboration among school parents and community members is necessary to maximize student achievement. And overall, community involvement can lead to very positive changes. So that ultimately provides that clear evidence that pre-K through 12 students are being better prepared for college, careers, and life after high school. Next, promoting collaborative effort among key stakeholders. The whole decision was to promote this collaborative effort. Integrating myself and other staff members into the parent organization is necessary to make the decisions that benefit students in the best possible way. And how did I support teachers? Through helping them engage in deep and meaningful work outside of the classroom. There's nothing more meaningful than helping a community. And that said, this gives teachers a chance to really, grow some roots within the community and build a better foundation for themselves within the school and the community by participating in these committees within the parent-teacher organization. And as far as managing resources, the only resource that I use monetarily was extra duty pay for the teachers giving the presentations. I just think they need to be recognized and, have some incentive for doing that. But I tried to keep that minimal so that we could still keep normal school operations while also having these new initiatives. And, if this parent organization really takes off and we have these teachers participating in these committees, maybe we could even, build it in as a stipend for them to participate in that committee in the future. And so my past experiences to examine, refine, and strengthen my leadership platform that influenced decisions, the community in Piper is very involved. And I think that's been my biggest, experience. This helped me to recognize the importance of community and parental involvement. And I've noticed when students see that their family's involved, they want to do well. There's a little more at stake for them. It's not just the teachers caring, it's their parents too. And they know that the community's got their back. And I think that's super important to have that community engagement. And lastly, here are my references. Thank you.